Hello everyone, I'm here to do the reading for the lovely sign of Cancer. Cancer, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, love you to be on board, but I'm going to have a quick chat with you about what Cancer means to you before I start. So if I say to you, what sign are you? Generally you answer with your sun sign. You say, I'm a Cancer or I'm a Leo. And that is only your sun sign, which is only one aspect of who you are. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, I'm a Cancer, but the readings never resonate with me. Well, what happens if you have a Libra moon or a Scorpio rising? Those things may be more valuable to you, or they may resonate more. So, for example, I'm a Capricorn, but Libra readings generally tend to sort of sit with me much better, which is my moon sign. And they all represent different aspects of your personality. So if you want to learn more about that, highly recommend you get onto Google natal chart, birth chart, find someone like Cafe Astrology, where you can put in the details of your birth, and find out where the planets were when you were born and see where your planets are. A lot of people who watch me regularly have done that now, and I love that they send me their breakdown of their planets because I find that really interesting. Um, the other thing too is people will often say, but I don't know what time I was born. Well, you can still do a natal chart without your time of birth. However, it is harder to find your rising or ascendant without the time. So some will just give you a very general reading based in all the other planets, which is still really pertinent to who you are. You can download from many of those channels a free report, which you can then go back and have a look at. I found them very many years ago when I first did it. I found them very interesting. Um, I sort of got very passionate about the signs for a long time, but I've sort of leaned back on that a little bit now. It's quite extensive. But anyway, so that's what we're doing for you, Cancer. So you could be a Cancer moon watching this, or have Cancer rising. So, and you can also be a cross watcher, which is okay too. Now, before I go any further, please watch for scammers. They're all over my page, Facebook, and other places at the moment. Make sure that you, because they're using my picture, make sure that you don't respond. If you're going to respond and give them money, I can't stop you, but just remember that I don't solicit you for readings. I don't chase you. If I put comments on YouTube after you've written something, it's because you've commented that I want to share with you. But I certainly wouldn't push you to have a reading or tell you I have messages for you. It just isn't done. I'm sure there are many readers out there that would say the same thing. We don't read you without your permission. But I feel like sometimes, people sort of get into things because they're at a low point or feeling a bit sad. So please be careful. The other thing is I now have a membership on my channel. You can press the join button or membership button below my videos on the YouTube page. I have done quite a lot of videos on reading the tarot cards, and I'm trying to get people to join me for face-to-face or in groups now to work at how to read for each other. So if you're interested in that, that's another option there. If you are interested in a personal reading with me, one email address, theaussiegoddess@gmail.com. The Aussie Goddess, all one word, all spelt correctly, no numbers, full stop. And I will leave that with you. You can contact me if you're interested. Okay, we are going to use the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot for your reading today. I'm due for a change, I think. Cancer, I've done a lot of shuffling here. Let's see what comes out. All right. So we have the Eight of Pentacles coming through. So the Eight of Pentacles usually means something is related to your work. It can be that you are working on something or putting something together, but it's a very narrow card for me because it doesn't really have a lot of other meanings like some of the cards do. So we're either talking about a work situation or working on something. Are you burned out, sick of work and not wanting to go anymore because you have an ending coming through? Are you thinking about walking away from work? Because I see you sort of going out there and talking to people, maybe starting to make some sort of decision here on having clarity or deciding which is a really good way to go. But this sort of makes me feel like it's really urgent. Now, when the Knight of Swords comes up, sometimes he can rush out and sort of do things without putting forethought into it or thinking about the direction he wants to go in. But this person definitely wants change. Now, you could be dealing with a Scorpio here, but you've got this card here, which I always call my cycling card. It's the card of the Wounded Warrior. This could be in a relationship, but look, you have the Victory card. Okay, so what I'm feeling here is you may have put a lot of work into a relationship. I feel like this is a relationship. And it may be that you've put a lot of energy and time into something which is perhaps not giving back. Sometimes we can, and I know as earth signs, we're particularly strong on this one. You know, we may see the ending of something. We may decide that there's nothing in it for us anymore, but we still want to make sure that we've taken every possibility, that we've come at it from every angle before we make a decision that it is just not serving us anymore. But you just keep trying, because there is this sort of feeling within you that maybe you may have missed something. Maybe you could have done something differently. Maybe you could have put more heart into it, more trying. And it's really interesting that we will keep going with that regardless. But I feel like whatever you've been doing here, I'm sort of getting that if the horse is dead, get off. It's no good keep pushing something that you know is already finished, even if it's difficult to let go. Because I feel like here there's this energy of keep pushing against something that really is not working for you anymore. All right, so we have the Knight of Wands. Are you dealing with somebody who lacks the ability to communicate, or is in another relationship, or is not interested in commitment? Are you dealing with somebody that may come up as a player? And often we say a player, but what we're talking about is somebody who may not be emotionally able to connect with you, who may be emotionally cold. They may not invest in a situation the way you do. But to me, this is somebody who could be emotionally immature. You could also be dealing with someone who's in another situation, and maybe you've been waiting for them to let something go, move forward with you, but I don't feel that they want to manifest it the same way you do. So there's no commitment there. So you may be dealing with someone who is just not interested in committing. All right, so you have the Two of Wands with the King of Swords. You may be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and I've got a lot of Pisces energy here as well. Aries energy as well here. All right, and a lot of Aries energy. So if you're dealing with an Aries, wow, a lot of Wands energy coming through. Yeah, there's a real feeling of somebody not really sort of, it's like they don't want to invest in you. All right, so you may not be talking to this person at the moment. It may be that you've already separated or you've gone into separation. This is the sort of energy I get when someone's met a twin flame. It's the breakdown of something that felt so right and so good at a point when you felt it was going somewhere. And I feel like here in your gut, you know that things are unfinished, but maybe this person isn't talking to you or having anything to do with you, or is not moving forward. This person is not committing either because they're in another relationship, or particularly because they don't want to. They may not want to hurt you. They may not want to get you thinking that they're going to commit when they're not. And a lot of the time, these people have really sort of a strong attachment rejection sort of energies, and they just, rather than trying to separate from you, they will ghost you. So it's possible here you could have been ghosted. I feel like whatever it is, I want to say to you that this person did have the feelings, but either they couldn't separate from the person that they were with, or they are still attached to the person that they are with, even though the feelings are very strong for you. I feel like this person may have been a work, because I've got the work coming up here and I also have the King of Wands coming through. You could be dealing with someone who was in a position of power. You could have been working with this person and now this is why you want to leave your workplace. I feel like somehow or another this King of Swords makes me feel like this person has cut off contact. But it could be that you've decided to cut off contact because things aren't just going anywhere. To me, there's a strong energy here that there's been some sort of breakdown. I feel like you were really trying to manifest with them. I feel like they were really invested in you. Absolutely. But it's either like they've chickened out or jumped out because they feel they can't give you what you want. And rather than tell you that, they've chickened out. But there was definitely what I would see. There's definitely a connection. There was definitely love there. There seems to have been a situation where perhaps even though this person felt this way about you, they couldn't continue or couldn't move forward. But the love still exists here, so that's quite interesting. You could have met this person through work, but I feel like you've put a lot of work into something that's come to an ending. There seems to be some communication around the ending of something that went around a lot of times before you made that decision to leave it alone. You made some sort of choice in love here, but you've got the victory card. So hang on 2 seconds. I might just put a few more cards on this, see if I can give you some sort of outcome here. All right, I have the Temperance card. You know, in these situations, I say to people, go away and work on yourself. Because at the end of the day, you've met this person because they're opened up or mirrored something back to you that needs healing. All right, so I have the Temperance card with the Devil, the Ten of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. So I feel like here you may have been dealing with somebody who was very self-focused, somebody who may have had some narcissistic qualities, which means they were always going to put their own needs first. I feel like for you, it's about getting yourself back into some sort of balance here. Sort of consider that it is an ending, that it's finished, because sometimes we'll keep hanging on and you could be hanging on for years before a person makes a decision to come back. Now, that's not that everybody doesn't come back, but in this particular situation, I feel that there needs to be time. I feel like this person's made a decision here to go in another direction. And in some way, shape, or form, I feel like because you have this High Priestess here, that maybe somehow or another you knew that was going to be their choice. And maybe you've jumped ship before they've been able to. Because sometimes that's just what you have to do. You have to call it a day because you know that someone else is possibly going to call it a day and you're going to get left. All right, let's read your card from the Elemental Oracle. Oh, the Sun, how beautiful. You know, the Sun came out as one of the main cards in the What's Cracking reading today, which is quite interesting. Card number 6. They're such beautiful cards. Look at that. So something tells me that maybe something's going to shine a light on this situation to give you a bit more idea of what's going on. Be grateful for what you have right now. Every day brings new possibilities and opportunities. Concentrate on building your vitality and health. Shine a strong light upon the dark corners. Honesty and transparency are valuable at this time. Vital. So this is really about you being able to really focus on yourself. If you've met someone like this, it may be that there's something within you that needs healing. Maybe you're in a grief. You're grieving at the moment for the loss of the relationship. But for me, that's a time to say to you, be kind to yourself. Trying to do all the things to win somebody back doesn't work. Believe me, it just doesn't work. All we do is distress ourselves more. So if there's a course you wanted to do or travel you want to do, this is the time to sort of pull that out and do that. I feel sometimes that we don't love ourselves enough, and there's so much psychological hoo-ha on this one, whether it's a good thing to tell you that or not. But mainly what I'm saying is put yourself first. You know, if it means that you have to do things to make yourself feel good at the moment, be gentle. Be kind to yourself. I feel like with the Sun here, there's some light going to be shone on this. So that seems to make me feel like somehow or another you're going to get the answers you're seeking, even if at the moment you feel like you've been left in the dark. It looks like the universe is about to sort of sheds some light on things to help you to understand why things have happened the way they are. And a really good idea to look up things like attachment theory, rejection, abandonment. A lot of that comes from our childhood. We seem to meet these people because we need to be woken up to what is holding us back in life. All right, I'll leave you with that. Thank you.